All right, please be seated. Welcome, everyone. There we go. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming tonight. It is only appropriate that the first person to be introduced tonight is the leader of our circuit, Chief Judge Ron Ficarota. Judge Ficarota, Chief Judge, has a very long history of being a champion of, not too long, but a strong history of being a champion of pro bono efforts in our circuit. So, Chief Judge Ron Ficarota.
Thank you, Judge Nash. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here to celebrate our 11th annual Pro Bono Service Awards. I'd like to take a moment to introduce my colleagues who I have the honor of sharing this with. We've got Circuit Judge Liz Rice, Circuit Judge Kim Hernandez-Vance, Hillsborough County Judge Miriam Valkenburg, Circuit Judge Christopher Nash, Circuit Judge Laurel Lee, Circuit Judge Laura Ward, Circuit Judge Mark Wolf, Circuit Judge John Conrad, Hillsborough County Judge Scott Farr, Hillsborough County Judge Jared Smith, Hillsborough Circuit Judge Darren Farfanti. We're honored to have with us from the 2nd DCA their Chief Judge Edward LaRose. We have from the United States District Court Judge Julie Sneed. Great to have her here with us. We have Circuit Judge Christine Marleski, Circuit Judge Wes Tibbles, and Hillsborough County Judge Herb Berkowitz. So I'm honored to have my colleagues here with me to celebrate this great occasion and celebrate all the pro bono work that so many of you do. We're also honored to have with us, I believe out in the audience, one of our senior judges, Jim Barton. Is Jim here? There's Judge Barton in the back. Judge Barton, thank you for being here. And Judge Barton was really one of the driving forces behind pro bono when I first came on the bench as a judge. He was really ahead of his time in promoting it. We're also honored to have with us from the Tampa City Council, Mike Suarez. I saw that he's here with us today. Thank you, Councilman Suarez. And of course, we've got the president of the Hillsborough County Bar, Gordon Hill. I think he's going to be speaking later. And I saw the executive director, John Kynes. So again, an honor and a privilege to be here with you to celebrate this great occasion. 11 years worth of pro bono. Think of all those hours. Amazing what you do. And I can tell you on behalf of all the judges, we appreciate your work. Thank you so much.
Good evening. I'm Rachel May Zisk, and I, along with Rosemary Armstrong, Jenna Hudson, and Nancy Lugo, organize this event every year. And for us, this is the most wonderful time of the year. This event would not be possible without the generous sponsors that we get every single year. Our platinum sponsors this year are Foley & Lardner LLP and Hill Ward Henderson. Our gold sponsor is Schutz & Bowen, and our silver sponsors are Carlton Fields and Quarles & Brady. Please join me in thanking these generous sponsors.
Welcome, everyone. Our esteemed members of the judiciary, we appreciate your pro bono support. Our guests, our award recipients, family members, friends, and colleagues. As I was introduced, I'm Nancy Lugo. I'm an attorney with the Volunteer Lawyers Program at Bay Area Legal Services, and I also serve on the executive committee for the Florida Pro Bono Coordinators Association. For many years now, the Florida Supreme Court, the Florida Bar Young Lawyers Division, and the Florida Pro Bono Coordinators Association have collaborated to recognize those attorneys who have provided 20 hours or more of pro bono service in a given year. These attorneys are presented with a lapel pin and a letter signed by the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court. For those attorneys who provided 100 or more hours of pro bono service in a given year, they're presented with the gold letter, a personalized letter signed by the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court. And now, to recognize those attorneys whose names have been submitted to us by law firms, pro bono projects, and others, and for this type of recognition, it's my pleasure again to introduce to you the chair of our Circuit Pro Bono Committee, Judge Christopher Nash, together with Judge Wesley Tibbles, the vice chair of the Pro Bono Committee, and also the 2014 recipient of the HCBA Jimmy Kynes Pro Bono Award. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. As Nancy said, on the back of your program are the number of names that are listed for the various recipients and the different categories of pro bono service for this year. And it's my honor to ask all of those who are present who contributed between 20 and 49 hours of pro bono service to stand and be recognized.
Will everyone, any attorneys contributing between 50 and 99 hours of pro bono service, please stand and be recognized.
And those with 100 or more hours, please stand and be recognized. And just briefly, I want to thank each and every one of you who contribute pro bono hours. It is part of our professional obligation and responsibility. It's also an incredible help to our community, to our friends in the community, and to us on the bench, and we certainly appreciate that. And I know those people with 100 or more, it's a lot more than 100. So thank you all very much. We really appreciate it.
And I'm also willing to guess those in between 20 and 49, 50 to 99 probably have understated their hours also.
But everybody does.
I just want to say, I mean, everyone knows our circuit has just a storied history of pro bono service. I don't really think there would be any serious debate that we have the circuit that has been most successful in pro bono efforts throughout the state. You look on this, the names on here that we just had stand up and be recognized. It's got, I think there's over 300 names on here. So there's a lot of people in our community that are really giving a lot of time to making other people's lives better. So we appreciate it. Thank you for everything you do. And also on behalf of all the judges here, thank you for everything you do. You make our lives a lot easier also by helping us with cases and things that would otherwise take us a lot longer. And we're all here because we really appreciate it. On behalf of all of the judges, thank you very much for the efforts you've given.
Thank you, judges. Like Judge Figueroa, I have a long history in pro bono, perhaps longer than Judge Figueroa. I am the executive director of Crossroads for Florida Kids, a pro bono program, and I'm also the immediate past chair of the Circuit Pro Bono Committee. Yes, we have many award winners today, but last January in Tallahassee, we had some award winners, and I'm going to ask the Florida Supreme Court and Florida Bar winners, and I'm going to ask Michael Hooker to come up, please, to speak about them. He is on the Florida Bar Board of Governors. Thank you, Michael.
Well, it's indeed my honor to recognize some local winners of Florida Pro Bono Service Awards at the state level. On January 25th of this year, 2 Hillsborough County lawyers, as well as a local bar association, were honored in Tallahassee for their pro bono services. Each seat was filled in the beautiful Florida Supreme Court chambers as they received this recognition. Our own Joanne Polchak won the Florida Bar President's Award for the 13th Judicial Circuit for her pro bono services contributed through the Innocence Project, also her representation of poor children as a Crossroads for Florida Kids attorney, and for her advocacy on behalf of migrant workers and a federal inmate who is deprived of AIDS medication. Ms. Polchak has contributed approximately 5,000 pro bono hours during her almost 12 years of practice in civil and criminal law. That's amazing. The George Edgecombe Bar Association, HCBA, was the recipient of the Voluntary Bar Association Pro Bono Service Award presented by the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court. HCBA was praised for its legal redress workshops, which are held predominantly in minority neighborhoods and also at a local community college, and offer legal counseling to the underserved indigent population here. Workshop lawyers provide residents with legal education and some pro bono service, focusing on areas of law that disproportionately impact minority and low-income citizens, areas like family law, employment discrimination, criminal law, and the like. Finally, Senior Assistant County Attorney Stephen Todd received perhaps the most prestigious statewide honor for pro bono service, the 2018 Tobias Simon Pro Bono Service Award, also presented by the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court. Mr. Todd described his pro bono service representing children in foster care, serving as both a guardian ad litem and an attorney ad litem for Crossroads for Florida Kids. He silenced the audience with his depiction of working with these kids that have been severely emotionally abused. But he also brought the crowd to laughter when he introduced his favorite client, Justin, who fancied himself as a ladies' man and proceeded to lecture his attorney about the proper use of male cologne. Mr. Todd, though, made clear that there is, in fact, an epidemic of child abuse and child neglect in this state, and he called on all attorneys to make a stand and to try to help this epidemic, cure this epidemic by taking at least one pro bono case. I want to offer my congratulations to all the statewide award winners. Thank you.
Next up, we have Judge Miriam Valkenburg here to recognize the Pro Bono River Run participants.
Good afternoon. This year was our 10th anniversary of the Pro Bono River Run, and it was a great success. How many attended? We have many. Hopefully next year it's going to be the entire room in attendance. A special thank you to Colette Black and to Carol Moody, who acted as the Grand Marshal of the award ceremony. For those that don't know, Colette Black, along with Judge Moody, were instrumental in developing the Pro Bono River Run program. So thank you to those two. And Carol, thank you for standing in on behalf of Judge Moody, who could not be present. A big thank you, of course, goes to the Hillsborough County Bar, its staff members, all the volunteers for your hard work, and to my colleague, Judge Conrad, for everything that you've done and for your leadership. While you think you're not going to work on it next year, I'm hoping you're going to be my co-chair again or leading it as well. If not, I'm taking applications for anyone that's interested. While the Pro Bono Run is a great event, it certainly serves a purpose, and that is to encourage participants to pledge the pro bono hours, to get out there and to help those that need it the most. One of the greatest commodities in life is time. Your priorities determine how you spend your time. More often than not, we find ourselves with very little time to spare. As co-chair of the Pro Bono River Run, I'm proud to acknowledge those participants that have generously dedicated not only their professional skills, but their time, this very important commodity. There are 3 awards that we gave. The first one is the Rosemary Award. It is the Proven Producer Award. It went to an individual who not only pledged the most hours, but who actually completed the hours and went beyond. And that award was given to Adam Bild. He's the 2017 Rosemary Proven Producer Award. Is he here today in attendance? Well, the second award that was given was to the team that pledged the most hours, and that went to the Hillsborough County Bar Association Construction Law Section. And again, we recognize an individual that pledged the most hours for this year's race, and that went to Adam Bild again. So I think he's the man that we're gonna, I know there's someone out here that could beat him, so remember the name Adam Bild. In 2017, just a couple stats before I sit down, we had a total of 16 proven producers and a total of 3,532 pro bono hours that were performed as a result of those that pledged. Our pro bono run certainly has grown tremendously throughout the last 10 years. This year we had 355 runners. As a result, 1,140 hours have been pledged for this upcoming year. Since the inception of the race, since 2009, 16,780 hours have been performed. So thank you to all the volunteers. We truly appreciate your dedication, and we truly appreciate you helping those that need it. Lastly, give you a summary of what's to come. Our pro bono run is changing a little bit, but we anticipate that it's going to be even bigger and better. The route is changing. Please save the date. Write this down. We're giving you advance notice, so make sure you have your gym shoes ready. The next race is scheduled for April 13th, 2019. And we're changing it from an afternoon run to a morning run. So that may bring or maybe entice some of the runners out. So thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Judge. At this time, I'd like to introduce my friend Ella Shenhav, who is an attorney with Schutz & Bowen. She also was the recipient of last year's Circuit Outstanding Pro Bono Service by a Young Lawyer Award. And Ella will present the award for Outstanding Pro Bono Service by a Paralegal. Ella?
Thank you, Rosemary. It is my great honor to be presenting the Outstanding Pro Bono Service by a Paralegal Award to my colleague, Kathy Kobos. Kathy and I have been working on Project Help for the past 2 years. And for those of you who are not familiar with it, Project Help is a weekly pro bono clinic that services the homeless and indigent population. And it's somewhat fitting that I'm the one who gets to talk today because that's sort of how we run Project Help. I do the talking, and Kathy does everything else. And it might not be surprising to you that a weekly clinic that runs 50 weeks a year has a lot of backstage work associated with it, and Kathy does an enormous part of it. She coordinates the volunteers for each week, which is sort of like putting together a giant puzzle. She puts together and compiles and updates the legal resources that we have at the clinic. That too. She helps organize the annual reception that we hold to sign up new volunteers and recognize our long-standing volunteers. She's always coming up with new and improved ways to make the clinic better for the clients that we serve there. And when you say to Kathy, Kathy, you're amazing, you're incredible, she just shrugs and says, I didn't do anything. But I know how lucky I am to have Kathy to count on and how much work she's done. And in fact, in 2017 alone, Kathy did more than 100 hours of pro bono service on behalf of Project Help. And I think it's time that we actually did say, Kathy, you are amazing, you're incredible. There is no Project Help without you. Thank you so much.
They don't have the cameras.
Next up is Melissa Mora. Melissa is a fellow Stetson alum and the HCBA YLD president.
Thank you. I have the honor of presenting Stetson University College of Law as the organization who has been selected to receive the award for outstanding pro bono service by an organization. Stetson was one of the first law schools that mandated pro bono service prior to graduation. Stetson students must complete 60 hours, 30 of which are legal and 30 of which can be non-legal, prior to graduating. It had 3 reasons for doing this. First was to reinforce students that pro bono service is an integral part of a lawyer's responsibility. Second, to help close the justice gap that occurs when citizens are unable to afford counsel and represent themselves in court or fail to understand the consequences of legal actions and failure to do anything. And third, to give students practical experience that reinforces the legal education they are receiving. Countless Stetson students, faculty, alumni, and staff members have been recognized for their pro bono commitments and contributions throughout the community. Many of those names you've heard tonight are graduates of Stetson, and so it is something that's been instilled into us from the time we started law school to now our professional lives. Students who compete twice this amount are eligible to receive a William F. Blues Award when they have 120 hours. Stetson has also been nationally recognized for its emphasis on public interest. I know we heard a lot of stats tonight, but from 2012 to 2017, Stetson Law students donated 127,625 pro bono hours to the poor and 65,015 hours non-legal pro bono to Tampa Bay communities. That's a lot of hours and a lot of students and people contributing to our communities. At this time, I'd like to recognize Professor Picard to receive the award on behalf of Stetson University College of Law.
Actually does the work. So this is not my award, this is the students' award, and this is Evelyn Pacino, who's the head of the Public Service Fellows at Stetson and coordinates hundreds and hundreds of students' work every year. And she's graduating. And we don't like
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jenna Hudson. I'm the Pro Bono Manager with the Bay Area Legal Services Volunteer Lawyers Program. I appreciate all of you coming this evening. It's my sincere pleasure to introduce the recipient tonight of the 2018 Outstanding Pro Bono Service by a Law Firm Award, and that award goes to Foley & Lardner, LLP. Foley & Lardner has a commitment to pro bono services that's been longstanding throughout their 175-year history of the firm. In fact, their mission specifically states that they are committed to providing meaningful pro bono opportunities for their attorneys and quality legal services for those who do not have access to the justice system. The firm actually has a national pro bono mission statement, which is Change a Life. And Foley also has a national pro bono policy, which provides billable credit for the first 100 hours of pro bono work per year to their attorneys with the opportunity to request additional credit over that amount. This policy has resulted in a 100% attorney participation rate in pro bono legal work. Their paralegals and staff members also assist in the firm's pro bono efforts. In the last 3 years alone, Foley & Lardner attorneys donated 5,598 hours of pro bono service to countless pro bono clients and projects. Of those 5,598 hours, a large percentage were donated to the Bay Area Legal Services Volunteer Lawyers Program, for which we are very grateful. Foley attorneys also regularly participate in Project Help, assisting homeless individuals with a variety of legal issues, Wills for Heroes, preparing wills for first responders, and the AARP Foundation's Tax Aid Project, visiting local libraries to assist those who cannot afford an income tax preparer or have other filing issues. Foley & Lardner attorneys work tirelessly to protect and defend those who are not capable of doing so on their own. We are extremely grateful for all that Foley & Lardner has done on behalf of indigent clients and the legal community. And here tonight to accept the award on behalf of Foley is Mark Wolfson, who was last year's Outstanding Pro Bono Lawyer.
I now have the great pleasure of presenting the Outstanding Pro Bono Service by a Young Lawyer Award to Tori Simmons. Tori contributed almost 200 pro bono hours in 2017, representing poor citizens of our community and 2 nonprofits that serve the poor. Tori began volunteering with Crossroads for Florida Kids in 2015. Among the children she represented in 2017 were 2 sibling boys with delinquency charges who slept on the floor of an adult sister's 1-bedroom apartment and often went without food and adequate clothing. She advocated for them in and outside of court. Recently, I saw Tori leaving a hearing for the younger brother. He looked like a different child. not in shackles with his head down. Instead, he was well-groomed and smiling and proudly proclaimed that he is attending school. I know that Tori's assistance in his case provided the support he needed to achieve stability and a path to success. And speaking of the brothers, Tori said, "The times I have felt that I made even a small difference in these children's lives have been some of the proudest moments of my 5 years practicing law." This is only the beginning, though, for Tori. In addition to my nomination of Tori, Ella Shenhap, who just spoke about Project Help, also nominated her. And of Tori, she said, "She has really set the bar high for getting firms to volunteer with Project Help. Hill Ward Henderson, under her leadership, was the first firm to adopt 2 consistent months at Project Help every year. Tori attends each and every clinic, 10 per year, makes sure to staff it with plenty of attorneys and staff, and is consistent and unwavering in her support for the project." Ella went on to comment that what amazes her about Tori is that her work with Project Help really is just the tip of the iceberg of her pro bono and volunteer activities. And Ella is right, so I'm going to tell you a few more. Since 2013, Tori has been pro bono attorney for the Bay Area Volunteer Lawyers Program. In 2017, she handled a guardian advocacy matter for the program. In 2017, she also volunteered at Bay Area's Domestic Violence Injunction Clinic, as well as providing legal services to the organization regarding a subpoena. She handles pro bono projects and cases referred to her outside of formal programs. In 2017, these included child support and eviction matters. And in 2017, Tori represented Trinity Cafe in a zoning application, revision of corporate bylaws, and review of employment agreements and conflicts policy. In addition to the 200 hours Tori spent in direct representations of poor clients or organizations that serve them, since 2015, Tori has served as the pro bono coordinator for Hill Ward Henderson, where she encourages firm-wide and individual attorney participation in various pro bono projects and assists attorneys through training with their projects. She also prepares pro bono engagement letters and provides general advice regarding conflicts, costs, and other common pro bono questions. A firm colleague, Josh Webb, describes her activities as, "Tori has taken her own passion for pro bono legal work and used it to entirely transform the pro bono efforts of her firm, taking the approach of many individuals and turning it into a coordinated and accessible platform for 100 lawyers from all practices to have more opportunities for pro bono service." And as a member of the 13th Judicial Circuit Pro Bono Committee, Tori had 2 noteworthy accomplishments in 2017. First, she worked with the Florida Bar Foundation to identify and sign up local pro bono organizations to facilitate the launch of the foundation's Pro Bono Matters website in Tampa. And second, she served as co-chair of its law firm subcommittee and planned a law firm pro bono summit held in October to educate law firms about how pro bono can help a firm's bottom line. Tori Simmons' extraordinary intelligence is only exceeded by her dedication to ensuring that poor people in our community receive quality legal representation in their times of need. Her energy and tenacity have no bounds as she seeks to help not just kids in care, but also other poor people who would otherwise not have a remedy for their legal problems. Tori Simmons.
Good evening. Thank you again for being here. I'm Erin Ruchkowskis, a staff attorney with Bay Area Volunteer Lawyers Program. I have the honor of presenting this award to John Gatto for outstanding pro bono service by a lawyer. John has been volunteering with our program since 2011 and has contributed over 350 hours to date. He has handled a total of 13 cases, 4 of which are still open. I asked John, why is pro bono important to you? And he said, because of the tangible impact on the clients. I've been able to take on the responsibility for litigation, and this has allowed them to better themselves through educational and professional opportunities. John has accepted pretty much every case our case referral manager, Elva Kennis, has referred to him. The running joke in our office is John has never met a case he doesn't like. He is the model example of the quote, "The question is not, are you busy, but what are you busy doing?" John has busied himself making life better for others. From all of us, thank you, John. Please come forward to accept this award. Thank you.
To present our circuit's most prestigious Pro Bono Award, I would like to introduce HCBA Chair Gordon Hill and Executive Director John Kynes.
My name is Gordon Hill. I'm the president of the Hillsborough County Bar Association, and of course, this is John Kynes, the son of the person who this award is named after. It's our pleasure to give the final award tonight, the Jimmy Kynes Pro Bono Service Award, to Deborah Smitansky. This is the highest honor by the 13th Judicial Circuit that is given, and essentially serves as a Lifetime Achievement Award. To give a little background and color behind the award, let me tell you a little bit about Jimmy Kynes, John's father. He was a very accomplished man, a Florida Gator football great, which I figure a couple in the audience may appreciate. He served as the Attorney General of the state of Florida. He also was the General Counsel and Vice President of Jim Walter Corporation back when Jim Walter was probably the biggest company in Tampa. But most importantly for him and to his family, and as you can see it exemplified in John, he was a humble servant leader. He worked countless pro bono hours. And when Bay Area Legal Services was getting off the ground, he was instrumental in helping to get the program funded, get volunteers there. He probably voluntold a lot of people to show up from Jim Walter and his friends, really to just kind of get support. So he led by example, but encouraged others to get involved. As John and I were talking about this yesterday, I think one of John's comments about his father was he knew what a difference just one person can make. He lived it by example, and he brought others along. Our award recipient tonight has carried on that tradition in spades. Deborah is well deserving of this award. She is an estate planning attorney with Foley and Lardner, who was also a recipient of award today. No doubt, in large part, because of the contributions that you made. She served an astounding, over her career, 1,155 pro bono hours. 435 plus of those hours were at the Bay Area Legal Services Bay Area Volunteer Lawyers Program. One highlight that she did is that she was instrumental in founding and bringing to Tampa the Wills for Heroes program. It's going on its, I believe, 8th or 9th year now. It's still active. And what that program does is it provides estate planning and other services to first responders who normally may not be able to afford the legal services and otherwise just can't have access to legal services. I was able to attend one of the sessions here in this room earlier this year or late 2017 and watched firsthand the impact that program has on everybody that attended. Leading by example, a bunch of other lawyers to give of their time, give pro bono service for that great cause. I think in total, she must have served several hundred first responders and their families and spouses. The program Wills for Heroes here in Hillsborough County received the Michael Ruffino Pro Bono Service Award from one of the Florida Bar sections. And Deborah, in launching the program, and working it, spent over 440 hours of time getting the program off the ground and getting it going. In short, like Mr. Kynes, Deborah has proven that one person can make a huge difference in our society. She's encouraged others to get along, to get involved. She has definitely led by example and gotten other people to be involved. So thank you very much for all of your service. So Deborah. Over here?
Congratulations.
Sometimes you can't hear my voice, so I'm going to pull this up a little bit. Thank you very much. I would like to thank the committee in selecting me this year. As usual, I always feel like this is unexpected, but I'm also humbled by getting an award such as this. I really think gratitude goes toward those organizations and institutions in our community that help, if not make it easy, make it easier to do pro bono service. One of those main organizations is Bay Area Legal Services, who I've worked with for over, I don't know how, ever since I've come here in 1989. Between the intake and the allocation of cases among attorneys here in this community, the partnerships that they make with other pro bono organizations to provide ample pro bono opportunities for everyone, it's an amazing organization. I think we can be very proud of Bay Area Legal Services for that. I would like to thank my own law firm. And I feel very blessed that they actually won an award here tonight, too. They basically make pro bono a priority within that law firm. It's really part of the culture of Foley & Lardner. And I must say that there is no lack of resources that they allow you to use to pursue your pro bono work. It's treated really the same as a fee-based client. So there's no difference in their mind between pro bono and fee-based clients. So I was very blessed to have that firm behind me and helping me to achieve a lot of the pro bono work that I have done. I've always said that, maybe I say this too much sometimes, but life can be hard, and at times we all experience that, but life is really hard when you need legal services and you don't have the money to pay for it. Some of the work that I've done for pro bono clients may seem kind of straightforward, not too complicated to me, like I've done a number of clearing of homestead title when someone passes away, like a parent, grandparent, and you need to make sure that that title descends in the proper way to the heirs. Many of the heirs are living in these homes, and it's the only home that they have. If we don't get their name, the title in their name, they may lose that home, and it's their chance to just hold on to something that is quite valuable to them. And even though we may think it's pretty straightforward, it means everything in the world to that particular client. The gratitude that you receive from that client, I think, is all of the reward or compensation that I ever need for doing this. And I know that most of you here feel the same way because you all do as much pro bono as anybody else. So thank you, too. So again, I would like to thank the committee. And I want you to all know that this, my gratitude is very deeply felt. Thank you.
They sent out a script to me earlier this week. The very first thing I was supposed to do is self-introduce which I failed to do. I think it's the fastest I've ever messed a program up. I'm Chris Nash. I'm the chair of the 13th Judicial Circuit Pro Bono Committee. The names of the committee members are on the back of the program. I just wanted to thank all the committee members. The committee members work really hard throughout the year. We do our best to evangelize pro bono, reach as many attorneys as we can throughout the county, and the committee members work really hard at doing that. This is my last Pro Bono Awards ceremony as chair. Next year, the committee will be led by a judge who at a minimum will have better hair than me. Judge Wes Tibbles is the incoming chair. He has a very strong history also of pro bono service, so he'll be a great chair next year. I do want to just thank some people. Really, I'm going to thank everyone don't zone out yet, because I'm going to thank everyone in the room. I'm going to start by thanking everyone just for being here tonight. It's not just attorneys here, it's people from all over the community, and really the impact of the pro bono efforts we've heard about all night are felt throughout the community. So we've got all kinds of people in the community who are here to honor people who have committed their lives and their professional career to pro bono service. Thank you all for being here and helping us honor them. Also, thank you to my colleagues for coming out. Appreciate my colleagues being here and letting everyone know how important we all think it is for you to uphold your professional responsibility to perform pro bono hours. All of us, we really do. We notice who provides pro bono. We talk about it, and the reason they're all here is also to honor you. If your name is anywhere on this program, in the middle or in the back, as I said earlier, our circuit is the leader in this state for pro bono service, and you are the leaders of our circuit. You inspire us, and we honor you. Thank you, not just to the award winners. Congratulations to the award winners, but also to everyone who is a lapel pin recipient. And finally, I want to thank Rachel Zisk. How many years is this for you, Rachel? 10. There's her 10th year putting this ceremony together. It's an important part of our circuit's pro bono culture. And I saw she listed herself in the 20 to 49 hours. It took her twice that just to put this together tonight. She's done it 10 years in a row. She really doesn't get much, if at all, recognition. Not compensated anyway, and she does it cheerfully every year. I think she's agreed to do it again next year. We're pressing our luck with her. But Rachel, we thank you so much. And even though you don't get enough recognition, we all see what you do every year and how hard you work. Thank you very much. So my last announcement, if you're an award winner, again, congratulations, and please make your way to the podium for a group picture. Everyone else, please stick around. We've got a reception. If you stay, you'll get a little bit of FaceTime with the Chief Judge. Thank you again.